series. This is about a giant world where everyone has power, but there is a royalty family of fire. And yeah, basically, yeah. So let's get into this. There's kinda ranks of fire. There's basic fire, which is pretty strong. There's purple fire, which is way stronger than normal fire. Purple fire is for the royalty with purple eyes. And it's super strong. Next, we have red fire. Now this fire is much hotter. It's normal fire, but 20 times hotter than basic fire and purple fire. Then, after that, we have black fire, which is pretty strong. It's not as strong as the ultimate red fire, which I'm gonna call ultimate red. Then we have the absolute strongest, the blue fire. The blue fire basically is when, of course, and it's very destructive, and it's for the people with the blue eyes. It's for royalty with blue eyes. So, let me name all the powers. So, we have our main character, my character, his name is Christian, of course. His power is nothing. He doesn't have one. Sadly, he doesn't have one. Sadly, he has black eyes, which are just plain. His sister, on the other hand, Katie, has purple eyes, like her mom. Their dad, Kyle, who's an annoying king, he's basically King Ozai, has the super strong red fire, and of course the little brother, Daniel, who also has the legendary red fire. With their grandfather being the only one in the family who ever had the blue fire. And he was the only one for a good reason. He was a strong and capable person. With their parents basically only paying attention to Katie and Daniel, with Daniel being the youngest and Katie being the middle child. Hold on. So, yeah. His brother being about 7, his sister being about 13, and with him being about 14. Who's just entering high school, basically. And and his parents barely ever pay any attention to him. When they do, it's when they're yelling at him for being a disappointment to the family because he doesn't have an element. But little do they know that he wears contacts. He doesn't actually have black eyes. He wears contacts because he doesn't want to end like anyone like them. He doesn't want to act egoistic. Because he knows that their fire always gives them egoistics. Their mom hides that she hates him. Hides that she likes him. Like she loves her own child. She hides it. But she always does it for anger because she knows that their father will probably kick her out for no reason if she goes against him. So yeah, Christian has taken an interest in swords and blades. He's taken an interest in those. Of course they're not as strong as fire, because yeah, Daniel is an annoying stupid brat along with Katie, because all they do is try and ruin Christian's life to make his life 20 times worse, because they think he has the easiest life ever because he gets to do whatever he wants. Well, they have restrictions. He's walking around the house as he goes, Well, actually the castle, since it's a royal family. He goes, and he's just thinking to himself, what a boring day. I really don't like it. he says, maybe I'll go to the training room. He wields 2 swords on his back. He heads to the training room, which is like a wooden room, which has got really good durability. Which is mostly meant for for the fire wielders, for the royalty fire. Because they need to track their abilities there. They need to contain their fire in there. Christian, on the other hand, just uses his swords, always using them to counter each other, being an amazing combat user, even without a power. Their mom never actually knowing. So with him, he's pretty fast. I mean, like, he can blitz around a room. That's basically all he can do, though. He thinks to himself, boring. And he is a prince, but his father doesn't count him as a prince since, well, he doesn't really have anything. He doesn't have a fire. So his brother, who's 7, says, their father calls a perfect child, along with Katie. Christian thinking in his room saying, should I show my fire or not? If I do, then he'll just go favorite mode on me. I don't want that, but I don't care. As he pulls out his puts his contacts back in there, then puts them in, then jumps out of his room, then walks out of his room, going, As he walks by his father, he says, wait a minute. As he pushes Christian's elbow, which makes him, like, the side of his arm, which he makes him turn, he says, why do you have contacts in? Why do you have blue eyes? He says, as he just ignores him. As he walks away, he says, I'm talking to you, stupid brat. As he goes to punch him, Christian just catches it, saying, who's the brat now? As he yeets him into a wall. And goes, you're not even strong, God. I thought you'd be a king one day. As he walks by and he's into the training room, trying to practice with his fire because he's never used it before. As he burns himself over and over, Then Daniel comes in saying, I want to use this room now. He goes, too bad, I've been here for 2 minutes. Leave. As he keeps on shooting fire all around the room, well, actually not shooting fire, he's getting ready to charge up his energy. He says, I'm telling Dad. He goes, I don't care. You can go now. As he slams the door on him, as makes Daniel fall, as he runs over doing like a fake act, as Christian is shooting fire all around the room, going, as he jumps around and shoots fire from his feet, legs, doing it like an arrow, doing like a light show, going, with their father running. What? I'll be back. Blasting around the room, going until their father arrives and sees him blasting the entire room with fire, going as he picks up the dummy and blasts and incinerates it with blue fire, incinerating it, going as he kicks it away. As he's dodging all the lasers that they have in that room, he goes and he shoots more fire, destroying them. As then he spits fire out of his mouth, going annihilating so many of them. And that's all I cared about, because this is kind